Hello, and welcome back to more Last Stream, World Unknown. Last time, we defended Court from Necht, but then discovered that the town of Rockwood had come under attack while we were gone. And now it sounds like we've been sent on a quest to go to Necht directly in order to get a boat. And so that will be kind of my main goal. I'm not sure if it'll be for today or how long it's going to actually take to get to Necht. But along the way, I will encounter whatever random encounters we have. And I don't know, these fights are interesting to see. And so I'll just bring you guys back for the highlights until we explore some new directions. I stopped to rest at Court once again, but it's time to go in new directions. We have never been this far to the south, I don't believe. And I think we have fought these type of monsters once before. Yeah, I think I recognize all of these guys, and I think I decided ice was probably going to work well against them. Or was that my original guess, and then I discovered it was something else like lightning that worked best? I don't really remember. Chitinous armor being cast by the Scorpion, so he's going to have a lot of defense. And yeah, ice didn't seem to work all that well. Well, I can also use Dancing Daggers of the Thief, and I think I'm going to use that a lot more, just because I seem to be able to heal up, kind of restore all my magic points relatively frequently, and that's just an opportunity to get more things like a Hyper Jolt Tonic, for example. Just a bunch of consumable items for the most part seems to be typically what the Thief steals. Alright, we got 3 level ups there. I think I'll wait for the monk to level up, and then I'll level everybody up together. Actually, I'm not even sure. I got a Hyper Jolt Tonic, for example. What does that do? And do I even see it in here? Is it not one of the usual... Doesn't seem like it's one of those things. Oh, I see. It's a combat item. I see. Boost agility, blitz boosts attack. I see. So they're consumable items for a kind of like per combat boost of particular stats on whoever drinks the potion. Okay, fair enough. And once again, looking at the map, can I tell from the map? Let me change the zoom level back in. I don't know that I can tell if there's a particular direction to go, so I'm going to try going kind of furthest to the south here at the beginning. Although, okay, there's definitely something over here, so let's check it out. Ooh! There's some kind of crazy two-headed monster with a club defending something. I'm curious to see if I take a look on the map now, if I'll be able to see. It's Abandoned Tunnel East. Oh, this is if I headed south from Rockwood. There was a way through a tunnel with dwarves or something that people said was going to be the more dangerous route, and they suggested that I go the northern route instead. So I imagine that that's that. It's kind of not my original quest right now. Should I do this? I think let's wait until we focus on the original quest first. But that's definitely something that we need to explore. And I'm actually going to write it down so don't forget about it. And from here, it looks like there's 2 directions I can go. I'm going to stay along the western edge of the continent. Oh, the bridge is out over here. I see. Oh, wow. And here's some crazy new enemies. Green Dragon, Spike Serpent, and Swarm of Bees. Swarm of Bees is especially funny to me for whatever reason. These guys sound like they might be scary. I wonder if I were going to attack them with something. What do I think would be best? Ice usually works well against lizards and different things, so we'll try ice. Okay, my thief has been paralyzed. Got a bunch of hit points against the green dragon. Ice does indeed seem to do a lot of damage to a few of those guys, so that's great. And let's see, Swarm of Bees is almost dead, and Spike Serpent still has a ways to go. So let's attack the Swarm of Bees. And let's try... I imagine Wind would work well against the Swarm of Bees, too. Let's try Wind in case I can get it off before the monk finishes him off. Nope, seems like the monk's going to finish him off first. Alright, we'll see how Wind does against the... I forgot what that guy was called. Some kind of serpent? Alright, the monk's going to level up too. A green dragon scale, a serpent spike, and a cluster of stingers. Alright. Oh, and we are a monster chaser. I'm not exactly sure. I guess that's probably, you know, having won a certain number of battles or killed a certain number of monsters or whatever, but I'm not exactly certain what achievement that is. I haven't even noticed. Yeah, I don't think I'm recording like Steam overlays or whatever, and so, you know, like there's a pop-up on Steam when I get an achievement as well, but obviously you guys can see the in-game version of that. And why was I here? Right, someone is poisoned, and so I wanted to purify them. It is the thief. There we go. He's no longer poisoned. Okay, so it looks like this way is going to be a dead end since we don't have an engineer to go through the tunnel. So we will walk around this way instead. And I presume you get different sets of enemies depending upon if you're on kind of the light green plains grass versus if you're in kind of forested area, would be my guess. I don't know if that's actually the case. Yikes. Okay. Bunch of bad guys, and I didn't do any healing before, so I might want to do some healing this time around. And yeah, actually, let's do a... Is a healing steel, does that attack everybody? No, it steals from one enemy. Yeah, we'll do that anyway. Let's do a healing steel. And let's do it on the dragon shore. And the monk. I haven't been using many of my monk skills very often. I forget, I think a few of these. That attacks 2 enemies. That attacks 3 random attacks. Is there something that, like, kills all the enemies or something? Maybe not. Alright, let's try Shocker for 3 random attacks, just for some variety. And I'm going to have my mage go ahead and try to heal the party. And ice seemed to work pretty well against a number of these guys, so we'll start off with that as well. Distracting stings. Alright, give me paralysis. We were not able to steal a heal. That's okay, because the white mage has us covered. And it looks like the black mage is going to be the primary damage dealer in this particular battle. Kablam! Alright, that's a nice start. And now let's go ahead and have you use Dancing Daggers to hit everybody. And I don't know if there's any other healing that we need to do. And now we will switch to, let's try Wind this time around. Ooh, Magical Guard. Okay, everybody's got magical defenses. Not great. Oh, and Silence. The white mage got silenced. Fortunately, my black mage is not silenced. And so he should be able to get the spell off still. And the thief is finally doing some work, which is great. Stealing some more Hyperblitz tonics and whatnot. Remedy and a full potion. Alright, so that's a very valuable skill for this thief to be using, and I should be more willing to use those various consumable items both inside and outside of battle, just because it seems like I'm going to be getting kind of a constant supply of them. And sure, we'll go back to ice on these guys since it seems to work well. Mind Meld. Interesting. So I think that was basically him stealing magic points from the thief right there. So my thief is getting low on magic points very quickly. Alright. But we managed to do that. I never bothered leveling up my guys. I think I just saw that I got a like Dragonmancer staff. Yes, and I seem to recall that that was one of the things I need for one of my recipes. I'm going to look really quick and see if I can find that one. Oh, it's this one, the Jinxing Knife. 5 Dragonmancer staff and 5 Phantom Wings. Do I have any Phantom Wings yet? I do. So if we kill a few more of those dragon guys, I would be able to make the Jinxing Knife, it appears. Alright, good to know. Might be able to synthesize our first new item. And my white mage is currently silenced. And I don't know if we go to Necht, if we're going to be able to sleep at an inn here, or since we're from the Mercenary Guild, if everyone here will be against us, or how that's going to go. I guess let's try walking in a house and see what happens here. Interesting. I guess I'll talk to this guy before I steal from him. Welcome. Oh, the North Aldrin Ferry. Okay, so maybe Necht, if I'm remembering correctly, might be on the continent of South Aldrin, and so this is just a little town that will ferry us down to the other continent, and that's where we go down to Necht to try to steal a ship. You're a sight for sore eyes. Business is slowed to a crawl with the tensions between Court and Necht. If you're interested in riding to South Aldrin, please see my ferryman at the pier. And I'm a cheapskate. Alright, that's what we've learned. And he's deeply in debt. Fascinating. History of the Aldrin Ferry. Wasn't long after the founding of Rockwood and Necht that an ambitious family set out to bridge the divide between the two rival cities. That's a kind of like duplicate copy of that book, which is a little bit weird. But I guess they just wanted 4 bookshelves for the look of this place, but only had two volumes of text to put in the lore. The Toman family set up dual ferries at the tips of North and South Aldrin in the hopes of getting rich shuttling cargo and passengers between the two cities. Alright. And I guess maybe part 3 we'll find right over here. Their hopes never came to fruition, though. Their small ferries were never able to compete with the larger vessels that made the trip directly between Rockwood and Necht. I see. So they only had a small amount of traffic. All right. Fair enough. Giant SP orb. That's terrific. And I just realized the thing on the wall behind it, it looks like the White Giant RPG Studios logo on the painting. I'm not sure if I've seen that painting anywhere else before. But that's cool. And I like the music in this town. I think I've heard it once before. What does it say here? North Aldrin Ferry. Fair enough. Any free fish? Lionfish. Alright. Another stinking passenger for South Aldrin. It's 10,000 gold. No haggling. That's a lot of money. What if I say no? Get out of my sight. I have 273,000 gold, and so I suppose I need to do it. There is not a place to heal up here, however. And I wonder, just looking at the map now, if I'm going to have to go across the whole southern continent. Necht, and I guess there's like a goblin town. I could probably stay at the goblin town. And so let's assume that there is going to be a place that I can sleep down there. And if not, I could also use just like a cottage out in the overworld or whatever. I'm just worried about the fact that my white mage is silenced. I could use a remedy potion on that as well. And my thief needs some more magic points restored. Alright, and this is the music from the original game, from when you're sailing out on the ocean. However, this is not a boat that I have control over. It's just kind of like automatically going directly to the south. And I would guess that we would not have any random encounters with monsters during that, and so this effectively just plays out like a cutscene in order to bring us here. Ooh, and it started raining. Interesting. Is that the same ferryman? He looks different to me. I see, it's a southern ferrymaster. Okay, no thank you. Maybe another time. And watch the cutscene. Yes, please. You step off the ferry, mulling over the sacrifice that led you here. Lost in your grieving for the cost you paid, you fail to notice the familiar signs of an impending vision and fall flat on your face. Alright, Chapter 4, Exodus. Far into the mists of time. So recall last time we saw some, like, aliens that seemed like they were coming to this planet before life had started or something. 100 years after Paradise Tree's discovery. So these are the same, like, alien people or whatever. When I accepted this mission, I could have never imagined that this new world might harbor a source of immortality. It's been 100 years of awe and wonder, and our research has finally reached its conclusion. How convenient that the cutscene jumped forward 100 years to the final conclusion of the research. Conclusion or dead end? Calrel, do you still doubt? Of course not. Our experiments infusing the tree's spirit energy in the test subjects have eradicated all doubt as to their potential. There's still more to learn from the trees, but the universe is vast, and I agree with Emperor Aulus. I don't know why I have so much trouble pronouncing Aulus, that the wisdom grows with ever-expanding exposure. Well spoken. Our orders just came in today. We're returning to Avalon within a fortnight. It will be difficult to say goodbye to Firma. After a century of research, however brief, it's begun to feel like home. Your thoughts mirror mine in that regard. I will miss our daily routine here, even our poignant discussions. In accordance with evolutionary treaty, Firma has been scanned for sentient life and none was found. Therefore, pursuant to our secondary mission directive, we shall seed this fertile world with younger races prior to our departure. Okay, so this is what I was speculating about last time, as these guys might end up, like, seeding the evolution of this planet. Will the goblin race be included in the seeding? Yes, your quad race proposal was accepted. So we have the goblins, the elves, the humans, and maybe those lizard people that I've seen that I don't remember who they are. Thought they were too primitive. However, your logical argument swayed the majority, and the motion passed 5-4. I've never seen you go quite so pale before. Indeed, it was Emperor Aulus himself who cast the tie-breaking vote. Apparently, your appeal to coexistence and equality was very moving. Okay, so apparently if we go all the way back to the beginning of this planet, there was a debate whether these races could coexist, and now we're seeing kind of like those tensions flare up in our own time. Apparently. Okay. Placing the elves first, and then the dwarves. Oh, the dwarves are the fourth race. Okay, soon after. But then after a few thousand years, the humans will be populated, and finally a few thousand years thereafter, the goblins. Let's get to work. Okay, so it's an interesting vision of a time machine that goes back in time. Meanwhile, on the slopes of Mount Agni and downwind of the Great Paradise trees. Okay, and that's where we saw the other vision of the lizards and different kinds of things. So perhaps there was no sentient life on the planet before those other folks came and got here and put the 4 races down. But meanwhile, evolving were those lizard people just out of the natural life that was on the planet. And so then they were going to conquer the whole planet and something. We're slowly kind of piecing together the lore of everything that's gone on in this world. That's what I've managed to gather so far, anyway. And I presume this will just say South Aldrin Ferry. South Aldrin Ferry, sure enough. And I guess there'll be a ferryman here, and I wonder if he's going to be richer or poorer, or there won't be a ferryman here at all. It's a ledger listing the recent passengers who've taken the ferry. There's surprisingly few entries. Oh, volume 4. Okay, so we get the other bit of this text on the south end. Profound lack of seafaring experience led to their demise when attempting to cross between the continents during a terrible storm. Ah, and it's raining now, so maybe I was lucky that I got across. Been kept alive by hard-working sailors who dream that they will be the ones to strike it rich as the operator of the North or South Aldrin Ferry. Alright, so hoping for the days when all of a sudden lots of traffic is needed. And we get a magic potion. Can I sleep in this bed by any chance? Doesn't appear to be the case. And here is a map of the world. So North Aldrin, we're now on South Aldrin for the first time. And once we get the boat, we're supposed to take it to Orphos, which is that other northern continent, before going to Wisteria, which I think is on Vir in the center continent, I think. Alright. And doesn't seem to be a place to kind of sleep and rest, and so we'll just leave my party in the state that they are currently in. And if I look at the kind of zoomed in version of the map over here, looks like there's a bridge kind of down and to the left. And so I guess I'll start heading that way first. And hopefully we won't have too many enemy encounters, and if we do, I might end up sleeping in a cottage. If we can't find another place for me to rest on my own, I guess I'll try taking this bridge. Not sure which direction is going to be fruitful. Okay, these are the same types of enemies that I was encountering before. And hit points are high enough that I feel willing to just kind of take my chances here. And so we'll just have the White Mage Guard, and we will cast Ice to try to take out the dragon and the serpent. And yeah, these guys aren't hitting too hard, so I'm not worried about being too worn down in terms of hit points. It's mostly just the fact that, you know, I was just talking about the fact that I have like all these remedy potions and different things, and I haven't really been using them. If I want to cure silence, I'm pretty sure a remedy potion will do it, and I'm not sure Vocalizer Serum cures silence for one ally. Remedy cures all status effects for one ally. Let's just use Vocalizer Serum to go ahead and get rid of the silence. And yeah, try to be more forgiving and willing to be able to use those consumable items, because it seems like I get them relatively frequently, especially if I end up stealing with the thief. Okay, interesting. Oh no, I didn't end up using the Vocalizer Serum because the battle didn't last long enough for my White Mage to actually get off an attack. Alright, and now that she has done that, let's go ahead and do heal 2, like on the whole party. That should give most people most of their hit points back. Let's do it one more time. Alright, now we're in pretty good shape. using my white magic a little bit indiscriminately. But I'm imagining that we're going to find someplace that we'll be able to rest in the not-too-distant future. Okay, so there's a big walled city there. That would be my guess for Necht, because I imagine the Goblin Village will be much smaller. So we are here, and if I were going to put a Goblin Village somewhere on this continent... Oops! I would guess it's going to be somewhere else, but I'll try to go in here and see if we can get it listed on our map. Oh, alright, I don't have control, so it's like an immediate cutscene. Menacing soldier, halt, who goes there? I recognize you from court. You're a goblin lover and a protector. Guards! The music here has a little bit of kind of a happy lilt to it, though, so I don't think we're actually going to get caught in a battle, and I think we might have the opportunity to negotiate or escape or something. You're the monster who helped defend the cesspool called Court. Prelate, what do you want us to do with them? Prelate of public sentiment. Don't let that filth escape. Yes, sir. How dare you show your face in Necht? This maggot needs to be crushed beneath our boot heels, says the sycophant. Fellow Nechtians, today our blade shall run red with the blood of our enemies. Prepare to die, goblin lover. Alright, I was wrong when it came to interpreting the music. A captain and a lieutenant. The lieutenants, I think, were the most... I guess I fought the lieutenants in some of the side battles, and the captain was kind of like the final boss. So this could actually be a tough battle. So we'll see how it goes. And I guess I'll start by focusing fire on the captain for the most part. Let's go ahead and... Let's bless the monk so he can do tons of damage. And let's cast darkness on everybody. And after one round of combat, I'll get a sense of what percentage of the hit points I'm managing to take off, and to see if it seems like I will be successful in this battle or not. I probably should have done a quick save just beforehand, just in case. Darkness 7 still does a ton of damage, so that's pretty good. And it doesn't appear that there is a Darkness 8. I did look in the skill tree for the Black Mage, and it seems like while there's like Fire 8 and Ice 8, it doesn't seem like there's a Darkness 8. Okay, and so... yeah, we took off a fair number of hit points already. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use Dancing Daggers, even though it's going to use up most of my magic points. And I guess I'll spread the damage around over there. And no, I'm going to continue to focus on the captain, actually. And my monk needs some healing, so let's do a fast cure to make sure we get him. And we just used darkness, and so now let's try using... I guess wind, sure. Alright, so the monk's healed up. He's dealing more damage because he's been blessed. Dancing Daggers means that we are able to steal some more consumable items and deal damage to everybody. Monk, for whatever reason, is being targeted a lot, so I'm glad that I did the fast cure on him. And I guess... I think let's just attack. And now I will spread things around a little bit. Let's do kind of a heal, just to make sure that everybody stays alive, and let's go back to darkness as well. And so I'm fairly certain I'm going to be able to win this spat. Oops, okay. He says the moment his white mage gets destroyed in one hit by the captain. Now I'm not so certain. Yeah, we've lowered the hit points down a lot on most of these guys, though. Okay, so let's keep attacking the captain. Let's keep attacking this guy. Let's do another... let's try Thunder this time around. And we can bring my white mage back to life after this, hopefully. Everybody should be, like, almost dead. Yeah, everybody's down to pretty low hit points here. And so let's try darkness one more time, and once the darkness goes off, I'm pretty sure that will end the battle. Oh, monk's down to 41 hit points, yikes. Alright, and the captain is still alive, but he just has a sliver of hit points. And so I'm just going to keep on throwing kind of everything I have at him. We'll even do an implosion, sure. Alright, but the bug managed to get off an early hit. There we go. So we won that battle. No drops. Is there no mercy? You defend those unworthy swine in court and then slay our finest soldiers in our homeland. What do you want? A ship? You'll never get ship passage in this town. Be my guest and visit the port. It'll be my pleasure to see them spit in your face. Escort this vermin to the harbor. As you command. Come with me, filth. Find your own way from here. Alright. Watch the cutscene? Yes. The smells of the sea fade as visions of an alien world envelop you. Aware of your present surroundings, you force your eyes downwards and lean drunkenly against a nearby mooring, hoping to avoid notice. Chapter 5, Hanging by a Thread. Okay, we're getting multiple lore chapters here. And now we're moving up into the distant past. Alright, and so we've got these aliens with their high technology who seeded this world. I see, all this is the Veneer Emperor. Got it. Okay, and so these are the Veneer. Alright, we now have a quorum. Orion, you may begin. Thank you, Emperor. All glory to your immortal rule. Fellow Veneer, the reports from Firma are troubling. The young races that we left to prosper are being massacred by a race of unknown identity. Okay, that must be the lizard people that we saw before. Even more troubling is the lack of otherworldly contact. All signs point to the alien race being indigenous to Firma. Amadeus, how is this possible? All protocols were followed. There were no sentient life when we departed Firma. There is a gap in our understanding, for I'm at a loss to explain this. Regardless of the cause, we must answer this barbarian force with the full might of the Veneer military. If there's any dissent, raise it now. May I remind you all the cost of a full-scale military campaign, soldiers' wages, weapons, food, and other supplies. I agree we must not stand idly while a younger race is slaughtered, but there is significant cost to defend them. I propose we postpone all observational follow-up missions to the Terran planet to offset the cost of the war. So be it. Any others? This force sounds unlikely to respond to traditional diplomacy, and I agree we must show our strength. However, I fear the treaty may cause us to stumble. It seems this invading force is the true native race of Firma. Must we not then transfer the 4 races we embedded to some other world and leave Firma to the natives? Interesting. Alright. Gather them and report to the ruling council. Want to know by nightfall if we can reasonably assume these invaders evolved at an accelerated rate after you left. Interesting. So where'd these lizard people come from? I leave all war preps to you. Ready the military. Young races won't survive much longer. And we're kind of bound to defend them regardless of the treaty. All right. Rest of you are dismissed. Alright, so the treaty sounds like kind of like a Star Trek-y prime directive that you shouldn't, interfere with the evolution on a planet or whatever. Was that truly necessary? The nascent cultures of Firma that we seeded for invaluable scientific discovery may burn to ash while we ruminate on the particulars of the evolutionary treaty. Great success of Veneer culture. Our technology may fade into the annals of history, but the treaty will live on in the form of 100 coexisting worlds and great biodiversity. Be that as it's made, this delay in action befuddles our elders and disenchants our youth. So much kind of, I don't know, politics and turmoil and two sides to everyone's opinion on things. There's a lot going on in the lore of this game. All right. Oh, meanwhile on Firma, this is music that I remember from the first game as well. That would happen whenever you had kind of the transitions to hearing some of the backstory on kind of the evil side of the world. Elven Minister. Your Majesty, the city is flooded with refugees, many of whom will starve if certain decisions are not made soon. Military issues have taken precedence. The horde approaches and will be here by the end of the week. Trying times. Can I have authority to make decisions for the refugees? Human and elven refugees are living in terrible conditions. Dwarves have already taken up and fled for the mountains. Goblins are ready to flee at the earliest opportunity. Surely we can spare scraps of food and remaining lodgings for them? I'm afraid not. The army needs it to serve our defense. If the defense fails, it's the end of civilization. Alright. Important news. Alright, they may number more than 100,000 warriors. Sounds like we're doomed. Except we have walls and bows. So basically our defensive fortifications are the only thing that could possibly keep us up. I will not let evidence of civilization fall on my watch. We shall stoke the embers of hope by fighting this vile force with every measure of our strength. Alright, so sounds like on planet Firma, it was kind of like the final last stand of the elves. Alright, after striking a witch at the Wistonia Casino, I thought I would vacation in Necht, but no one told me they would be waging civil war on their neighbors in court. I'm anxiously waiting for my protection detail to arrive. A man of my wealth certainly can't travel alone. Aha! I think we found our ticket out of here. We'll talk to him again in a little bit. I'm curious to see if I go to the docks. Yeah, there's going to be like a treasure chest over here. Black hole bomb. Alright, fantastic. The fishmonger presumably is just going to be selling fish and be like a normal merchant would be my guess. And I see some other folks to talk to as well. Our markup is 100% legal. Alright, so usual kinds of fish and things that you can get. Great, great, great. I saw a person up on this end. Multiple people, it seems like. Indignant sailor. Perhaps the guild will now realize the goblins are the mongrels we claim. They destroyed Rockwood and they'll come for us next. Lazy sailor. I'm hiding from the captain while the rest of the crew loads the goods destined for North Bay. Things are going well so far. If I stay under the radar, I might actually be able to get some rest. This is pretty cool music on this end, too. It seems like people like the adjustments that I did to the sound balance, and so hopefully that will continue to work out. First Necht, and now Rockwood has been attacked by a mysterious force. The Nechtians claim it must have been the goblins, but could they truly have done something on such a massive scale? Okay, so we think it's a third party, basically. Trip to North Bay can't come soon enough. I must escape this chaos. So is this tiny boat... I know a goblin lover when I see one. Threatening violence will do no good. Alright. I'm not above being bought. Give me a sum of 20 years' pay and I'll send you my other ship. That's 500,000 gold. Ha! Destroy the goblin village south of Necht and I will declare you changed. Fascinating. So you could pay the money, you could destroy Ronkar, or hold on. Can't make up your mind? I believe I know a third option, which is going to involve the High Roller, and deciding that we were going to be kind of like his defensive fortification people or whatever. I guess those are cannons. I was originally looking at that and thought it was like a telescope on the dock, but it's a cannon pointed out from the ship. And over here, are there any other folks that we can talk to? Can I talk to the steering wheel and sail the ship? Apparently not. Got some more consumable weapons. I didn't see up on this end. Doesn't look like there's anything over here. Oh, some fish caught in the netting. Take them. Neat. Mackerel, bluegill, bull trout. Fantastic. Alright, well, that was definitely worth coming. Well, let's go talk to that high roller guy again and see if we can pull off what I'm imagining. Doesn't seem like there's an obvious way to move forward there. Oh, but now are we back in town? Okay. Maybe we can talk to other people in town? We can walk around on the guard walls? Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to do this. I'm going to save in a backup slot so that I have it. Because it sounds like this place is going to be very unfriendly to us, even if we did just manage to beat some of their best, captain people and things. Thieving teen. After hearing of Rockwood's destruction, I've changed my ways and led a pious but impoverished life. You catch a glint of gold as he speaks, and extract a precious coin hidden within his cheek. Hey, a thief in our midst! A thief, I say! Alright, fascinating. Here is a bed, and it looks like a child's room with a teddy bear. Is there anything in the bear? Nope. Sealed envelope is stuffed to near bursting. Interesting. Violent cartoons of goblins suffering. Can I read this clock? Still want to smash my fist in the clock face. There's someone here. A one-eyed warrior. The goblins of Ronkar are a plague that must be wiped off the face of Firma. When I was young, a goblin raiding party invaded my family's village. They slaughtered my parents and took my eye. Since then, I've made it my life's work to get rid of the goblin scum. Well, you can definitely understand why these people don't like the goblins. Kind Queries Volume 2. I missed Volume 1. Who floats along and are remarkable for nothing in particular? Goblins. Alright. Let's look around the room. Dear Claire, your decorated brown bag is very sweet. I enjoyed your tortured hearts against their blue clouds that are clearly struggling to exist as a distinct form. I sometimes feel this way too, Claire. I used your bag to retch because the blue clouds make me so intensely angry. You didn't mean to make me angry. Did you, Claire? Yours, the polite riddler. That's really odd. I feel like there's a portion of this story that I've not yet figured out. Can I talk to the fireplace? Nothing particularly interesting. Alright, and the snare drum and the music here gives it a distinct kind of military feel to kind of like the musical background of this place. Alright, let's talk to this person. Alright. Entire demolishing the venerable Rockwood begs whether there might be some greater, more sinister force at work. Okay, so it is the case that some of the people here in Necht now are having second guesses about whether all of the wrongdoings are attributable to the goblins or to by some third party. The Green Horror. Interesting. Your father was severely debilitated by a battle mage. He suffers from severe shaking and slurred speech, as well as something else from the distant past. He's had the same nightmare where he wakes up screaming, reliving his panicked killing of an elven peacekeeper at close range, bringing around his crossbow to fire on your dad while he tended to 2 wounded soldiers. Been visiting your dying father at, ironically, an elven hospital. If you're ever planning to reconnect with them, now would be the time. Dear Uncle, I appreciate the notification. No interest in connecting with my father. He abandoned my poorly educated mother with 4 kids and no job. We didn't hear from him for years. In the meantime, we were reduced to accepting food from concerned neighbors. Endured time in a war zone. Many other humans overcame their war experience to lead responsible lives. He has not. Now my father's age, at the time he abandoned his family, I find his lack of responsibility ever more deeply disappointing. Alright, lots of personal tales of real-world strife and woe. Your grandmother was a powerful black mage who cast Confuse on your father. She had the sick desire to have her children need her, lured your father away from his family. Only moment of regret occurred as she approached death. He was holding her in bed, listening for a sign of breath. I never knew Surge's children. Her final words were about you. I was pleased to hear this dying regret for her actions, but the full measure of damage had already been done. I do not accept that my father was manipulated into lifelong abandonment by a black mage. Confusion wears off, but his cowardice endured. Your father's misery in the Great War rendered him susceptible to prolonged durations of the confusion spell. Please reconsider before it's too late. Arguable duration of confusion aside, young son that achingly sought a father is no longer here. There's no one for my father to reconnect with. Wow. All right. Quite the tale. And yeah, it's just another example of two sides to every story kind of thing playing out. This time kind of on a more personal scale rather than being just kind of generalizations among races. Okay, the Polite Riddler. Who are known compulsive liars that refuse to be wrong? Whose central talent is making everyone loathe their presence? Dwarves. Okay. Interesting. Anything else to find or steal in here? Medium magic potion. Terrific. Can I sleep in the bed by any chance? Probably not. Alright. And so the fact that the Polite Riddler is blaming dwarves on things, and then these guys blame goblins, I wonder if someone's going around, like, sowing seeds of blame on different races or something. Resentful tenant. Alright. I see. Are we a person of action, or are we kind of like a bureaucrat or diplomat kind of thing? So kind of dividing people into those two classes, men of action and men of words. The Green Horror Volume 3. Truculent Denizen. Everyone who fled Necht can see for themselves the world awaits beyond them. The world that awaits beyond the town limits, as well you know. Alright, Green Horror Volume 4. Alright. And so I suppose these Green Horror books just kind of suggest the general sentiment of the person who lives there. And it looks like we can go both up and downstairs. So if we go upstairs, we can find some money. And some more to read, the Green Horror. 6 goblins for every 1 human, and their breeding continues. My sheep, I can see the future because I understand the present. Alright. And let's try going downstairs as well. And it seemed to be the last time I stole something from like a downstairs place like this. Did someone find me, or did something happen? Recipe for an erratic whip. Large magic potion. I'm really hoping I'm going to find a place to sleep and rest, or that we will kind of quickly finish up this place, because I think this episode is already starting to get long. I don't mind if it's like, you know, like 45 minutes or so. It seems kind of like a reasonable happy medium, based on what some people have proposed, and also, like, I don't know how long this game is, but I could easily imagine, you know, the series going 100 episodes or something, based on the length I kind of could imagine estimating it right now. And so that kind of also favors longer episodes. Once above, now below. Here lies Jake, bit by a snake. Alright. Necht is strong, but can it fight a war on 2 fronts? Is the army that attacked Rockwood working for the goblins, or working with the goblins? Is there nowhere safe outside Veer? Indecisive immigrant. Okay. Alright, there's some kind of very big house over here. Even those in Westonia can no longer deny the grave truths of Firma. Violence and strife have a way of finding people who refuse to acknowledge the darkness among us. Alright, and there's like a weapons and armor shop here. Here's kind of all the people who are kind of like standing watch at the entrance, it seems like. There's also like a place to do synthesis, it looks like. There's a whole lot more to explore. And there's an inn. Okay, will they allow me to sleep at this inn is what I want to know. And actually, before I know that, let's do some takey-takey. And read a little bit more books. Okay, Green Horror Volume 1. I think we've already read this one and this one. And there's some people over here. We'll talk to them and see if I can sleep at the inn. Oh! Psychopomp, the Banshee was spotted to the southwest. Got it. Okay, that's the next kind of big boss monster we need to kill for Virgil. Worthy of the Mercenaries Guild's efforts. Interesting. Maybe if we defeated that monster, maybe the High Roller would hire us on his ship or something. And let's see. Are we strong enough to survive? Alright. Sign-in sheet for recent inn residents. This guy, I guess, is the bartender. No thanks. I'm going to do another quick save, just in case something weird happens if I try to do here. I see. Goblin defenders, but you cannot stay here. So if I say insist to stay, I wonder what would happen. I guess I'll just leave. Yeah, I think I'd like to finish up the episode and continue exploring the rest of this place next time. Because there's obviously still a bit to explore, but I feel like things have gotten long. So that's going to be my plan. And I guess for now... oh, my white mage is still dead, right. I forgot about that. It'd be really great to sleep somewhere. I'm just going to go ahead and save in slot 5, and we'll pick up here from next time and keep exploring, and maybe we'll find a place that we can actually kind of heal up once again. But for now, I hope that you guys are having a great day and are enjoying Last Dream World Unknown, and I will see you again probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.